Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video, and this is another LEMMiNO reaction, and I'm loving this channel, man. It's been probably over a week at this point, and that's my bad. I wasn't planning on making it this long before I do another reaction from this channel, but I'm definitely planning on doing more, and this one was suggested a lot, and the video is, apologies for my pronunciation, he's probably going to correct me when the video starts, but I'm going to say Cicada. Wait, Cicada 3301, an internet mystery, and from what I've seen of this channel so far, it's a very sort of conspiracy based sort of channel, which I love. I love those sort of things. And if that is the case on this video, I don't really know much about internet conspiracy, so I'm intrigued to see sort of what like he talks about in this and what this whole mystery is about, because again, I don't really know much about internet conspiracies, if not anything. I don't really know anything about conspiracies in general, but especially on like the internet. Like, I see a suggested video, the dark side of the web. I don't know really much about the dark web. I've obviously seen videos in my own time, but I don't really know much about it other than the fact that you can sort of go and do things in secret, and I think that's pretty much all of my knowledge on that. But just things like that, I'm not really up to date, and sort of I'm not clued up with this sort of stuff, so it's new to me. But I appreciate the suggestions, and I really do enjoy the channel, like I said at the start. But yeah, let's just get into this. Quick shout out to my Instagram and my Twitter. Follow them. The links in the description if you want to see my tweets, see my posts, and interact with me. I'm talking to people through those sites as much as possible. Obviously, it's hard when I get 50, 60 messages a day. Maybe not, but 30, 40 messages a day. But I do reply to as many as I can. I do really enjoy interacting with anyone who like messages me. So if you do feel like that, the links are in the description. Also, link to my second channel. We may have hit 10k when I'm posting this, but if we haven't, help me get there. I would really appreciate that, because we're so close at this point, which is crazy. 10k on my second channel, nearly 70k on my main. Fuck me, things are crazy right now, but I do really appreciate you guys. But without me waffling too much, let's get into this video and see what this is about.
Just let me know.
Just let me know. I love that. I'm gonna turn up my...
On the 4th of January 2012, a user on 4chan posted this image to the site's infamous B or random board. The anonymous...
Turn up my brightness a little bit. Oh, look at that, it's going up a little bit. There we go. Probably a bit too bright, but... Sorry, I should have probably done this at the start. I've moved my lighting a little bit. I'm going to get another light of the same one, so it's not the shadow this side. I'll get that eventually. It's coming on the 8th, I think. So yeah, apologies. It's going to be a bit meh until then. But...
This author, who went by the 4-digit pseudonym 3301, challenged users to uncover this image to the site's infamous B or random board. The anonymous author, who went by the 4-digit pseudonym 3301, challenged users to uncover a message hidden
okay, so
within
it's like a
the
puzzle
image.
Thing then.
Unbeknownst to those who stumbled across it, someone had just set in motion one of the most elaborate scavenger hunts the internet has ever seen.
Oh shit. Wait, so it's a bug? Is it a bug then? Is that what it is, Cicada?
Within minutes of the image being posted, someone discovered that by opening the file using a text editor, an appended string of readable text could be found. The string contained a cipher that, once deciphered, formed a link to yet another image.
Wait, what?
At first, this appeared to be a dead end, but using an application known as OutGuess, users were able to extract hidden information embedded within the first image. The extracted...
My head's already gone, man. How are there people smart enough to even do this? Firstly, to make this stuff, but secondly, to actually sort of understand the puzzles. How? We're a minute in, we're barely even touching upon the actual thing, and I'm already like, how is there people out there who can do this stuff?
Information led to a subreddit, which in
Smart
turn contained
fuckers out there,
information
man.
about the book. The book, along with a code, could then be used to uncover a phone number that, when called, played this pre-recorded message.
Very good. You have done well.
What the
There
hell?
are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpg image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com on the end to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye.
Wait, what?
By the following day, the initial image had been reposted all over the internet. A growing community of armchair detectives sought to unravel this elaborate puzzle, but no one was quite sure what to make of it. What was the puzzle for? Who was behind it? What happens when you reach the end? Some naturally dismissed it as an elaborate joke, while others perceived its complexity as evidence against it being the work of a mere troll. Before long, rumors began to circulate that this could be the work of some secret society or intelligence agency, with the intent of recruiting individuals proficient in cryptography, steganography, and other related fields. Of course, it was nothing but a rumor. The two missing numbers mentioned in the recording proved to be the dimensions of the original image. Of the
But how do people find that out, man? How? How is there someone who just sort of thinks in their head, you know what, it could be just the size of the picture? Like, how? Bro, people are mad. I can't lie. How people can even figure that out is... My head's gone. My head is gone. I don't even want to say anything.
Width and height with
it's beyond me, man.
And using the product as a web address, users were taken to a website. The website consisted of a countdown as well as an image of a cicada. When the countdown reached 0, the page was updated with a list of coordinates. The coordinates pointed to locations around the globe, 14 locations in 5 different countries. It was now up to participants living near the specified coordinates to rise from their comfortable armchairs and venture outside. Those who believed Cicada to be the work of an organization now felt their beliefs had been justified. In their opinion, only some international collective possessed the means and resources to create a scavenger hunt of this magnitude. This was not the work of your average troll. No, this had to be something else. At each location was a poster with a cicada symbol and a QR code.
Wait, what?
On the bike shelter over here. See, I got it right there. Oh. You can see.
How would... Actually, this is a group, so it wouldn't be one person, right? But how would they get that all up at the same time and like manage to make sure like none of it gets taken down by some random person? I mean, that's probably a bit of luck, right? But that's just crazy. All around the world.
See the corner?
What?
Just gonna rip it off.
The codes linked to an image, the image contained a riddle, the riddle led to a book, and the book led to a website. But here, the puzzle took an unexpected turn. Only a select group of first arrivals to this website were accepted into the final stage of the puzzle. The site eventually closed down with the message, "We want the best, not the followers." The finalists were also warned not to collaborate with others nor to share the details of this private stage of the puzzle. Well, given that we know this, it's safe to say that not everyone heeded that warning. But those who did presumably advanced through the final stages before reaching the very end of the puzzle.
And, well, wow, that's just it. Flipping hell.
After nearly a month of silence, an image appeared on the subreddit announcing the conclusion of the puzzle, and just like that, the hunt was over. Cicada had supposedly found the highly intelligent individuals they were looking for, and whatever happened to them is a bit of a mystery, but more on that in a moment. The complete lack of an explanation was perceived by many as confirmation that the puzzle had been nothing but a wild goose chase intent on wasting everyone's time. After all, questions raised by the original image remained unanswered. What was the puzzle for? Who was behind it? What happens when you reach the end? However, as it later turned out, this was only the beginning.
Wait, what? So there was more? Okay.
Whomever was behind this intricate game had the foresight to include an authentication code known as a PGP signature along with every clue. This allowed users to verify that an image or message was actually from Cicada, as opposed to some imposter seeking to derail or hijack the puzzle. Cicada had repeatedly warned of such false paths and insisted that any message lacking a valid PGP signature should promptly be disregarded. That's why this image, posted exactly a year and a day after the first, provoked such a frenzy. After a year of lackluster imitations, this image finally matched the official PGP signature. Cicada was back, and it was time for round 2. The second puzzle was not too dissimilar from the first. The image enclosed a message, the message led to a book, The book produced a link, and gradually the puzzle unfolded. At one point, a recording titled The Instar Emergence was uncovered.
Oh, man. Sounds like some Red Dead Redemption type music, not gonna lie.
Another clue led to a cryptic Twitter account, which then led to an image. The image proved vital to the progression of the puzzle, but the inclusion of this runic alphabet would remain a mystery for quite some time. Much like the first puzzle, the second swelled into the physical world when a list of coordinates compelled participants to once again take to the streets in search of enigmatic posters. This time it was 8 locations in 4 different countries. But eventually the trail went cold once again. Another select group of first arrivals had been accepted into a final private stage of the puzzle. Unlike the first puzzle, the second did not conclude with an official message from Cicada. The trail merely went cold, and Cicada vanished once more, leaving us no closer to an explanation.
What a weird group.
However, this was still not the end.
How far are we in? It's still 10 minutes to go, barely even halfway into the video. A third puzzle.
At the beginning of 2014, it was time for round 3. Once again, the image enclosed a message, the message led to a book, the book produced a link, and suffice it to say, it was more of the same. Except this time, the puzzle seemed to revolve around a strange book. The book was titled Liber Primus, meaning first book in Latin, and was evidently written by Cicada. The runic alphabet uncovered in 2013 finally made sense, as the book was primarily written in runes. Even so, the meaning of the translated pages were cryptic at best. The book consisted of various philosophical and ideological ideas and appeared to be their manifesto. Many have since compared the strange writings to that of a cult. Nevertheless, the book also comprised a myriad of clues and codes. For example, this page advised participants to seek out a website on the deep web, but the site remains undiscovered. Another page led to a website containing yet another recording titled Interconnectedness.
This is quite soothing, you know. I can sleep to this kind of noise.
However, a significant portion of the book has yet to be translated. The runic text on some of the pages appear to be obfuscated by layers of encryption that has yet to be decrypted. Of the 74 pages featuring runes, only 19 have been successfully translated.
So
as 2015 came and went without the launch of a new puzzle, many came to suspect the Liber Primus had to be completed if Cicada was to return. This was more or less confirmed at the beginning of 2016, when Cicada encouraged a re-examination of the book. More than 4 years have now gone by, with minimal progress and near complete silence from Cicada. Questions raised by the original image have gone ignored.
4 years later.
What is the purpose of these puzzles? Who's behind them? What happens when you reach the end? When the initial image appeared on 4chan back in 2012, many...
I know this is irrelevant, but 4chan sounds very familiar to me. I don't know why. Is it like a hacking group themselves or something? I don't know. They seem really familiar, but I don't know quite exactly who they are. Well, they're just like a Reddit thing. Like, I don't really know what they are, but I've heard of them and they sound very familiar. So if you know, please, I mean, there's going to be people who definitely do know. Let me know in the comments, because maybe I could do some things related to them, because they seem to be sort of the sole sort of thing for this whole Cicada. I can't even say it still. This whole thing, 3301.
Cicada 3301 to be an alternate reality game designed by a corporation to promote a new service or product. For example, Microsoft developed an elaborate ARG back in 2001 to promote the film Artificial Intelligence, and a similar viral marketing campaign was used to promote the release of Halo 2.
Oh, mad.
But the release of subsequent puzzles and the complete lack of commercialization has more or less eliminated that possibility. If we choose to believe some of the leaked information from the private end stage of each puzzle, then we do gain some insight into who this group might be. For example, at the end of the first puzzle, finalists supposedly received this email. In it, Cicada described themselves as an international group who believe that privacy is an inalienable right. The aim of each puzzle is to recruit like-minded individuals in an effort to develop privacy-conscious solutions. The email then concludes with 3 questions. The PGP signature, which would have confirmed the authenticity of the email, was conveniently removed by the leaker. If a version with a valid signature does exist online, I was unable to find it.
So
but regardless of its legitimacy, I find this question a bit odd. It reads, do you believe that information should be free? Assuming the expected answer is yes, then the very first sentence, do not share this information,
that's funny.
seems a bit hypocritical. While the
Maybe these are the guys who made VPNs. You see like NordVPN and is it that Shark one? Surfshark. And all these different VPNs. Maybe this all came from this. Who knows? Nah, definitely not. But from what I'm seeing and from what he's saying, I'm assuming that, well, not assuming, they obviously meant good with what they were trying to do here. Like privacy on the internet.
The idea of a secret society recruiting individuals by means of elaborate cryptographic puzzles may seem a bit absurd or even conspiratorial. It's not entirely unfounded. Corporations and governments alike have employed similar recruitment techniques since at least the Second World War. In 2013, the British intelligence agency GCHQ launched a recruitment program known as Can You Find It? Participants had to decrypt a number of cryptograms hidden across the internet, and those who managed to solve the entire puzzle were offered a prize or a position at the agency. Google did something similar with enigmatic billboards back in 2004, and the US Navy launched a near-identical project in 2014.
This is obviously a thing that a lot of companies do. But then
what about the recruits? Why have we not heard from these chosen few? Well, we have. It's just that separating a legitimate finalist from an imposter is virtually impossible.
Good point.
In a
good
2015
imposter as well in this day and age of Among Us. Get them off the ship. But I see what he means there, because obviously a lot of people are going to be coming pretending that they've been involved, right? And they could just be waffling. They could be just full of lies, but it's so hard to know whether they are or not. So I can see what he's saying.
In an interview with Rolling Stone, 2 alleged winners of the first puzzle chronicled the events beyond the final stage. After receiving an email from Cicada, they were taken to a forum on the dark web. Here they could communicate with 20-some-odd recruits, as well as a handful of established members of Cicada. They were told that Cicada 3301 had been founded by a group of friends who shared common ideals about security, privacy, and censorship. The goal was to work as a collective to develop software applications in line with that ideology. As friends recruited friends, this secret society quickly expanded into a decentralized international organization.
Mad.
The recruits were then tasked with developing software that fit the ideology of the group, and members of Cicada would oversee their progress. But without the allure of a puzzle to be solved, the recruits quickly lost interest. By the end of 2012, all but one had left, and a few months later, the site was gone. They never heard from Cicada again.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
One of the 2 winners, named Marcus Wanner, later elaborated further in a video by YouTuber.
All of that work just for it to fall apart like that. Wow, I'm surprised by that. I thought it would have become something like huge.
Nox Populi. Furthermore, Nox Populi himself claims to be a winner of the second puzzle, so I reached out to him, and this is some of what he had to say. After completing the final stages of the second puzzle, Nox Populi received an invitation to join Cicada 3301. However, he was not invited to a website, but was instead merely told to be patient. Then, around May of 2013, all communication with Cicada abruptly ceased. This was around the same time as when the website dedicated to the winners of the first puzzle was suddenly taken down. Nox Populi later contacted other winners of the second puzzle to compare notes, and their experiences were identical. In his own words, all the stories were the same. We were invited to join 3301, then something happened and silence followed a request for patience. Nox Populi supposed that roughly 5 others completed the second puzzle, in contrast to the 20-odd winners of the first. In regards to who or what Cicada is, Nox Populi believes they could be a remnant of the cypherpunk movement of the late 80s and 90s. Essentially a small group of activists advocating widespread use of strong cryptography and privacy-enhancing technologies, but he admits that there is no way to know for certain. If you want a far more comprehensive walkthrough of these puzzles as opposed to my brief overview, Nox Populi has produced a number of videos on his channel which I highly recommend.
Shout out to him.
While these accounts cannot be verified, they do make for a very compelling argument as to what Cicada is. A group of anonymous developers seeking to develop privacy-conscious applications by recruiting talented individuals via cryptographic puzzles. Sure, it is not nearly as exciting as a shadow government seeking world domination or any of the more fantastical theories, but it is certainly more plausible. You have to keep in mind that no part of these puzzles would have required more than one person. The posters are often pointed to as evidence that this must be the work of some international organization, but I beg to differ. I mean, right now, I could use any number of services to hire random persons around the globe to install posters for me. Although, given that no poster was located more than an hour away from an airport, leads me to believe that one or multiple persons actually traveled.
There is no way one person did this themselves. There's no way. There's surely not. I mean, if there was, that's dedication, but considering this is like a group, or this was a group of like friends, surely this was not one person who placed all these
locations. I mean, some of the posters were found within walking distance of an international airport. The fact is that anyone with a disposable income and enough time on their hands would be able to create the illusion of a vast secret network spanning the globe. Not saying that that is the case with Cicada 3301, but it is nonetheless a possibility that cannot be discounted. With all of that being said, I personally think a loose-knit group of privacy-minded hobby cryptographers to be the most plausible explanation. Cicada made their last public statement in April of 2017, merely warning against disinformation, but the current status of the third puzzle and the possibility of a fourth remains clouded.
So they could come back. Wow. Mate, shout to this LEMMiNO again, man. Shout to LEMMiNO again with his Patreon and subscribe to him as well. If you haven't already, give him a subscription because he is crazy. His talent is ridiculous, man. He's so talented. His video, like, sort of editing and narrating is just so sort of intriguing. This is a bit of a different one. This is a different one, definitely, compared to what I usually see. But, like, it's so sort of, like, out there and just sort of unique to the videos I react to before. I'm definitely down to do more because, again, I've never really seen a video to do this kind of stuff. I love that it's called... I still can't say it. I don't know why. Cicada, a ton of noise caused by a small insignificant insect. That's actually a very good point they make there. This guy could have pulled off the biggest rickroll. Imagine this video is part of the clue. The conspiracy start again. Say what you want about Cicada 3301. They make good music. Nobody. My neighbour's Wi-Fi passcode. Everyone's talking about how intelligent the puzzle solvers are, but not how skilled the puzzle creators are. Honestly, both sides, people are just scary smart. It's got to the point where I'm just sort of like, how can you even figure this stuff out? And how can you even make stuff in the first place? I don't get it. I don't know how people can do that. But I rate it. Then when it gets the real address to the hot single mums in the area, holy shit, the coordinates were 30 minutes away from my house. Cicada's hut hid for 17 years and they emerged from the ground. If this all happened in 2012, plus 17, maybe it'll come back in 2029. I mean, it's a conspiracy, but good bit of maths there. You never know. Could be spot on. Then when it gets hand sanitizer that kills 100% of the germs. But I enjoy this one a lot. I really do like this channel, and yeah, when it comes to this channel, please suggest more. I'm probably going to do some more of the internet conspiracy type videos like the dark web, Crazed by the Apocalypse. I always read through these, but I do need to do more reactions. The Universal S, that could be one actually. I've always wondered where this has come from because I always used to like draw it in school. That could be one that I could just do for myself just to understand it, you know. But we'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Shout out to LEMMiNO. Give him a subscription if you haven't already, because his channel is elite, man. But until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.